Buenos días.
Hola, buenos días.
Buenas tardes. Buenas noches.
Whatever the time is, and it may be, but hello, everyone.
Welcome to Cafecito and Crime. I'm
me.
Estela.
And Barb. It is our episode number 10.
Yes.
Wow, double digit. Woo, woo. Entre porras. You know, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this episode. What are we talking about today, young lady?
Yes. Today's episode is about a 9-year-old girl who went to bed, and in the middle of the night, she left her home and was never seen again.
Just like that.
Just like that. To this day.
Till this day.
Till this day.
So is this unsolved?
Yes.
Wow.
Not unsolved. Well, yeah, can it be considered unsolved?
Yeah, it would be unsolved. They don't know what happened to her. Do they know what happened to her?
No.
We're about to find out.
We're about to not find out what happened to her.
Ah, shit.
Asha Degree was born on August 5th of 1990.
August 5th. Makes her what?
Leo.
A Leo. Hey, Leo.
To parents, Harold and Equila Degree in Shelby, North Carolina.
The last name is Degree, like a degree of a like a
master's degree.
Oh, okay. I thought it was degree, like it's 50 degrees outside.
It's the same thing.
Is it really? Okay.
Yes. She had an older brother named O'Brien, who was almost a year older than her. I believe they were like 11 months apart. So,
wow.
Yeah, they're close.
Close.
The family of 4 lived in a 2-bedroom apartment just outside of the Shelby city limits. The Degree family they were very family oriented. They were all really close. Asha's grandmother and aunt actually lived on the same street.
Okay.
And they all attended church together on Sundays.
That is the best. Like, can you imagine, like, living on the same street as your tia?
And your grandma.
We used to live in the apartment, so everybody would live in the same apartments.
Yes.
But that was so cool.
Yeah, just everybody's just, like, all in one place. Ahí todos se ponen a jugar juntos, whatever.
You would end up in somebody else's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would all attend church together on Sundays, and Asha would even sometimes spend the night over at her cousin's.
Okay.
And she and her brother got along great. They were really close. They shared a love for sports, and it's really what they bonded over the most. You know, sometimes when you have like an older brother, you're like, Well,
you have older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I have a younger brother.
Yeah.
And I'm the sport one, and he doesn't like sports. Shout out to my brother. That he's only watched listened to one episode. he's like, how many episodes do you have, guys? And we're like, 9,
8. I think at the time it was like 7.
7. And he's like, oh, wow, that's a lot. I'm like,
I listened to 1.
Bro, seriously?
He's like, I think he's like, I bet you he didn't even fucking listen to the first one either.
He probably fucking didn't. Fucking dick.
And then you're just saying like that you texted him?
Oh, yeah. So I texted my brother Sunday. We saw him Saturday. We were with him all day. Sunday, my sister came over. We were all chilling. We had a good time. And then I texted him on Monday. My husband's birthday was this weekend. I said, hey, do you want to come with us? We're going to go bowling on Saturday or do something for Alex's birthday. And then he was all like, nothing. Disappeared.
Crickets.
Off the face of earth. Cricket. And so then I'm like, okay. Well, maybe he didn't want to go, whatever. I don't really bother anybody. So I just kept going. My life has been crazy this week. And then next thing you know, he texts me at 7:30 on a Friday, 7:26 to be exact. Hey sis, yeah, I'll be there. Al 100. Tell me one time and the place. And I'm like, and he's like, sorry for taking a bit. I'm like, bitch, you didn't take a bit. You take 4 fucking days, 5 days, whatever.
5 business days.
Yeah. I'm like,
you know who not to call if you're dying.
If I'm dying, please do not. Matter of fact, nobody call my brother if anybody's dying. But anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead.
But yeah, Asha and O'Brien were really close, so they were así.
She could probably call him and he would answer.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Asha was described as a happy child. She was really bright and funny, and she was really smart. And her mom later is saying, she's interviewed saying that she'd give you the shirt right off her back.
Oh, she was really sweet.
Yeah, everybody liked her. She wanted everybody to like her. She couldn't stand when somebody was mad at her.
I can relate. That's me.
She was funny and smart in that. She was still really shy. So
that can be.
Yeah.
That can happen.
And Asha and O'Brien, the way that the parents, raised them, it was somewhat of a sheltered life. They didn't have a computer at home because remember, This was like the 90s. They grew up in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody had computers back then. We were outside playing, girl.
Mm-hmm. So the kids, didn't have any access to the internet. They were also latchkey kids, which just means that they were home alone because their parents were at work. So they'd get home from school and be home alone.
Oh, okay.
Until their parents, it was like a common thing back in the day. So they were just called latchkey kids.
Yeah, now you really can't do that.
And this also made Asia a cautious child. She
worried about, making sure she was good.
Yeah,
the door
she was doing
locked. Yeah, okay,
exactly.
okay. Kind of like my daughter.
Yes. Asia was a 4th grader at Foston Elementary School in the year 2000. And she was thriving, and she was even the star of her basketball team. She played sports. She was in a basketball team at her elementary school.
Good for her. Mm-hmm. Yes,
telling
basketball.
you, she loved sports. Sunday, February 13th, the family all attended church like they did every Sunday and had lunch afterwards before heading home for the day. It was thundering when a car crash caused the home to lose power around 9 p.m. Aquila, who usually had the kids take a shower the night before they went to school, told the kids, hey, there's no power. Just go to bed and I'll wake you guys up early in the morning so y'all can bañarse.
So the crash happened and it took out the power of the whole street?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So no había luz.
No había luz, okay.
And she was like, yeah, I'll wake you guys up in the morning so you guys can take a shower before, you guys get up to go to school.
Got you, okay.
At around 11 p.m., el dad, Harold, got home from work. Mm-hmm. The power was out, so he decided to go do some last-minute gift shopping for his and Aquila's anniversary the next day. Harold and Aquila were married on February 14th, 1988.
Oh, that's my anniversary.
I know.
That
I remember.
So cool.
That's what when I saw this in the research, I was like, oh, that's Barbie and my brother's anniversary, because they also got married on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So in the year 2000, they were going to be celebrating their 12th year wedding anniversary.
Nice. Okay.
So since the lights were out, he was like, oh, I'm just going to go to like a little store that's open.
Like Eckert's.
Yeah. Oh, I remember Eckert's. It's not Kroger, right?
I don't know. I think it's Randall's now.
I thought Randall's were done.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Anyways, he was like, let me go grab some last minute gifts to add to what I'm already going to give her. So he leaves. He left and then he returned home and was just laying down on the sofa and he fell asleep.
Yeah.
The electricity didn't return like around midnight, like 12:30. And Aquila went to go wake up Harold to que se parara so he can go sleep in la cama, in the room. Mm-hmm. So he got up. So he went to go check on the kids like around 2:30.
Yeah.
In the morning. In la madrugada.
Yeah.
And they were both there sound asleep. And he's like, okay, cool. Cerró la puerta. And he himself went to go to sleep now.
So they were, he checked on them. They were both good.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Sometime after this, O'Brien later says that after Harold checked on them at 2:30, he heard Asia moving around on the bed because Asia and O'Brien shared a room. So they lived in, how I said they lived in a 2-bedroom apartment and the kids shared a room. So O'Brien says that he heard Asia moving in la madrugada and she was tossing and turning, in that he then heard her get up and go to the bathroom. But after that, it's never confirmed if she returned back to her bed or not because he fell back asleep. Mm-hmm. Aquila usually woke up the kids before school at around 6:30, but in the morning of February 14th, she had to wake them up early because remember, they didn't take a shower the night before, so she woke them up to take a shower that morning. Yeah. So she woke them up like around 5:30, 5:45-ish, and she went, she walked into the bedroom, and she noticed that Aisha was not in her bed. So she left the room and went to ask Harold if he knew where she was, and he said no. They looked all over the apartment and nothing. But they did notice that her set of house keys were gone. So they were like, okay, a lo mejor se fue somewhere. Let's call. So they called the grandma to see if maybe she was con su grandma. Y la grandma le dijo que no, that she wasn't there.
So by this time they're thinking que se salió. She left the house.
Because her house keys weren't there.
Okay, got it.
They went outside and screamed her name as they walked up and down the street.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
And nothing.
Oh, my God.
And then they did this for like an hour. We're looking for her, asking people, hey, have you seen her? Did anybody see her leave the house? And everybody was like, no. So they like did this for an hour, and they called the police like around 6:30, 6:40-ish. And they got there ASAP, like 6 minutes later. Llegaron bien rápido.
They were good response time.
Yes. So the police get there, and they search the home and the neighborhood, but find nothing.
Oh, my God.
So,
Parents' worst nightmare.
Seriously.
Parents' worst nightmare.
They search dogs also. They bring them in and find nothing. They search all morning and into the early afternoon, and nothing. It is then determined that there was no forced entry and no forced exit. That meant that Asha left on
her own terms. Like, she walked out.
She walked out.
Uh-huh.
So the police tell Aquila if she can look around the bedroom and stuff like that and see if there's anything that's missing besides Asha's set of home keys, which, they noticed earlier that they were missing.
Yeah, was she like still wearing her PJs and that kind of thing, you know? Se cambió, no?
Aquila, looks around the room and stuff like that, and she tells police that a red vest, blue jeans with the red stripe, white shirt, a black and white shirt, black overalls with the Tweety bird picture.
Oh, I love Tweety.
Black Tweety pocketbook. Remember Tweety?
Yes.
Oh, esta Tere, I don't know if you know.
My comadre.
Yeah, one of my cousins.
Hi, comadre.
We used to call her Tweety, dude, because to room, I remember we would go over, visit them, because they lived out of town. Tweety. Everything Tweety. I don't know if we ever told you this.
No.
Everything Tweety. Her bedspread, her TV. I think she had a pager.
Stop it. Oh my God, comadre. That's awesome.
She had hats. We used to go to like Six Flags. Like she just had Tweety all over the place.
Aww.
Like Tweety threw up in her bedroom. That's what it looked like.
So awesome.
And they used to call her Tweety. Aww. Which was like early 2000s, which is when this took place. But when I was reading that, it made me think of her.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was, I'm going to back up a little bit, black overalls with the Tweety bird picture, a black Tweety bird pocketbook. Candy are missing along with her mochila, her book bag.
Bro, like, now that you say that, I would never, with all the clothes that my daughter has, be able to find out what she's missing. Like, I never thought about that. Like how, her mom knew exactly what she was missing.
But back in 2000 though?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, think about it. Like, I mean, back in 2000, we only had a pair of one calzón, one pant. I mean, whatever. But like nowadays, like if I was to have to tell somebody what I was wearing, like she literally changes like 3 times a day. So I'd be in big trouble.
Yeah.
I would be in big trouble.
So obviously this tells them she packed and she left.
Sí, porque se llevó varias cosas. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As the day goes by, Asha's disappearance makes the news. A news story breaks. The first caller specifically says that around 3:30 in the morning, he saw a little girl walking in the rain along Highway 18, which was a mile south of their home. The second caller, who was actually a retired sheriff deputy, he says that he saw a small figure walking at 4:15 a.m., still along Highway 18, but closer to the intersection of Highway 180, which was also a major highway to kind of like exit the town. Mm-hmm. So they kind of thought that she was walking into town. She
looked like she was walking into town.
The driver also said that he circled back to check on her a couple of times, and he was actually going to go ask her if she was okay. But when she saw him turn back and get closer to her, she ran into the woods.
Pobrecita.
And that was the last known sighting of her ever.
Oh my God. My heart.
That night, it is believed that she was wearing a night white shirt, jeans, white shoes, a Tweety bird purse, along with her book bag. And this was weird because, let's not forget, February, it's the middle of winter.
Yeah.
It's raining. She wasn't wearing, and Aquila didn't say that, any...
Her coats?
Her coats were missing. None of that. Like nothing. So where was she going? In the rain, in the middle of winter, in the middle of the morning on February 14th, 2000. So with these sightings of Asha, the police go and search the woods by where she was seen.
Yeah.
And they bring search dogs for sure. But because of the rain, it takes away her scent. So the doggies didn't find anything.
Oh.
By this point, the FBI and the North Carolina Bureau of Investigation have also joined in the search, you know, because it's a little kid. So the police let the public know, hey, you know, search your properties. There's this little girl missing. She might be hiding. It was raining. It was cold. You know, just check out to see if maybe you find something in a shed or something like that, a garage or whatever. This brings the very first clue the next day.
Okay.
On February 15th, a couple known as the Turners lived a mile south of the Degrees, which is, remember, Asia was seen a mile south from her home. Mm-hmm. Well, they searched their storage shed thingy, majiggy, and they found candy wrappers, a green marker, a 1996 Atlanta Olympics pencil, a Mickey Mouse bow, and a picture of a small girl that looked like Asia. For whatever reason, I'm not sure, I couldn't find, but the police don't make it to the shed until the next day, February 16th.
Maybe there were apparently something else more important than that.
And then they see, when they get to the shed, they see that from the house of the Turners to where the shed was, it was like a long, narrow driveway.
Okay.
It was long because the Turners lived on a big property.
Yeah.
They had an upholstery business, and the shed was like down a really long driveway. And if it was raining in la madrugada, it was dark. They were like, there's no way she would have just stumbled upon the shed. So they thought that was weird. And then the neighbors, the Los Turners, said that he had dogs that always barked when a stranger was nearby, and that they didn't that morning of February 14th.
Yeah, of course. Dogs be barking all the time. All the time. My dog won't bark. So you could come in here in the house and steal everything, and my dog would be like, come on in.
I'm going to go hide.
I'm going to go hide. Y'all take whatever y'all want and leave.
I ain't going to
my sister's
snitch.
dog. Oh my God, he's so fucking annoying. He is annoying. He barks the shit out of everything.
What kind of dog does she have again?
I don't know. He's a mutt. I don't know.
Is he little or is he big?
He's little. He's a little dog. Yeah. His name is Charlie. Shout out to Charlie.
So they take these items and present them to the Degree family, and they confirm that these items found did belong to Asia, like the candy wrappers, the pencil, the Mickey Mouse bow. But they also confirmed that the picture that was found was not of Asia.
Oh shit!
And nobody knows who that other picture was, of who that girl was.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's creepy.
So the next day, on February 17, the Turners again find candy wrappers on their property, not in the shed, but just like on their property. And they call the police, and the police do arrive that same day and collect these items. And after interviewing some of Aisha's basketball teammates' family, it is confirmed that those candy wrappers match the candy that was handed out to players at a Saturday basketball game. That was on the 12th, which is Saturday before she vanished.
Yeah.
So for sure, they knew that they belong to Asia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have all these items that her family do confirm that belong to her.
Except the picture.
Except the picture that's not of Asia. In a shed that was, they think that's too far or out of place for her to have stumbled upon.
I'm just saying,
when she ran into the woods.
You said that that the actual,
and the neighbor's dogs.
The neighbor's dogs, first of all. Second of all, the freaking
the shed.
La shed, pero la carretera, o sea, como like
and
the entrance.
We'll post pictures on Instagram. You can see.
La entrada está bien larga. Like for her to go all the way and without seeing like any like footprints or nothing like that. Like that just doesn't sound right.
And the dogs not barking.
Yeah, that's
the
what
neighbors.
I'm saying. I mean, it would be out of her way if she's going straight.
Yeah.
Like, it would be out of her way.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for her to do it 2 times in a row, then that means she's still in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a search is conducted of that area. You know, volunteers and the police go through all of these areas and find no other clues. Like, nothing.
That's crazy.
So, the official search is called off on February 20th. Because remember, she went missing on the 14th. So, the official search is called off on the 20th after, you know, when volunteers are looking and they have search dogs and all of this.
That. I really don't like that. I feel like they should check a little bit more time.
See. So, on March 22nd, with the help of supporters, a billboard is actually placed on the side of Highway 18, where Aisha was last seen by those 2 drivers before she ran into the woods. So the billboard said, endangered, missing, with the picture of Asia, her birthday, the last day she was seen, her age, she was 4'6", she was 60 pounds, missing from Shelby, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So the standard missing info. So even though the official search was called off, work was still being done behind the scenes.
Okay.
The parents were ruled off as suspects because, when a child goes missing, it's always
the parents,
somebody that knows the child. Leads were being followed up, even though they didn't lead anywhere. Sex offenders that lived close by were also interrogated and nothing. Family members were also interrogated and nothing. They were all, cleared. Had nothing to do with it. The next clue doesn't pop up until 18 months later.
What?
So she's been gone.
18 months.
18 months.
Okay, got it.
On August 2nd, 2001, Asha's book bag is found wrapped in 2 plastic bags.
What?
It was buried.
In 2 plastic bags?
2.
So they wrapped it with one and then another one.
And buried it.
Okay.
It was buried and found by a contractor named Terry. Now, Terry, he was using a tractor. When he heard that it hit something that made like a clunking sound and went to see what it was and found the book bag. The next day, he told his wife what he found, and his wife told him to call the police. Because when Terry found the book bag, it had Asha's name and address on the inside. He went over there
and opened it. He opened it.
Well,
he put his freaking prints all over that shit.
Well, yeah. What would he do?
I would have opened it.
Yeah, and when you're people write their name and their address in case it goes missing.
Back in the day, dude, that was a little sticker on the back of your backpack.
It on the yeah. So when Terry found the book bag, it had Asha's name and address.
So then Terry's wife was probably like, I've seen this on TV.
Yes.
Like, I know who that is.
Exactly. You just took my notes, what I was going to say next. But yeah, it was exactly that. His wife had heard of Asha and knew that it was major and that what her husband had found. So he needed to go tell the popo. So her book bag where Terry hid it and found it was over 26 miles north of where Asha lived.
Shit.
So somebody obviously deliberately, like you said, wrapped it in 2, not 1 black plastic bag, but 2.
Meses de la basura.
And buried it.
Wow. They took the time. Wow.
And buried it. And it was in a completely different county, of course. It was over 26 miles away, almost 30. So the police do a search of the area and dig around where the book bag was found, but nothing is really found besides animal bones and a pair of men's khaki pants nearby. Not in the exact same spot, but within the perimeter that they were searching.
Perimeter. Yeah, the surrounding areas, yeah.
The book bag does get sent to a lab for analysis, but the findings are never released until years later. And this was in 2001 that the book bag was found.
So, the forensics is pretty good in 2001.
Way better.
Yeah, way better.
Again, nothing gets released to the public. If it did find something, everything, they're still doing their search investigation. It isn't until 2016 when a new lead appears after a new witness comes forward saying that they may have seen Asha get in a green car. Investigators release that they are looking for a dark green 1970s Ford Thunderbird or a Lincoln Mark with rusty wheel wells.
That's kind of really specific.
Yeah, for somebody
not to wait this long to say something about it.
Well, I probably should have said that they researched, reopened. I don't want to say reopened because the case was never closed, but they revamped the investigation in 2015.
Okay.
They started looking again all over old leads. Started re-interviewing people.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that's when the new lead came in 2016 that they may have seen her get in a car, matching that description.
So just that teaches us, if we think that we see something, open your mouth, dude. And say something.
That's what the video says. If you think even if it's nothing.
Even if it's nothing, I know the cops are just going to go, they'll look and they'll see if it's a viable, information or lead. But dude, open your mouth. It's I know that I watched this is out of this, but I watched. It's a YouTube that I found, the YouTube videos. And these people, they go around and they find Adventures with a Purpose. And they find cars that have been in the water and they're missing people. So the guy always tells them, hey, if you're a fisherman, Just, it takes you 5 seconds just to look around. And if you see a car or something, just call the cops. Let them know, hey, there's a car there, whatever it is, because you never know what can happen. And it's just like, even something small like that, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, bro, maybe back then they could have, okay, because now by this time it's 16, how many years?
It's 2016 when this new lead came in, and she went missing in 2000. So 16 years.
You imagine to find a car that's green and it has one rusty
wheels. That's what they were, and they also said that, you know, it might not even be around anymore,
or they probably got rid of it, or you know, or they probably were like, hey, we don't need this car, let's put it in the dump or whatever. Like, just say something. Like, even if you don't, I always try to, you know, check my surroundings, pero yo siempre ando como mensa. Nunca encuentro.
Well, you don't go anywhere, so.
No, I don't.
So now we're in 2018, and the police finally released what was found in Asha's book bag back in 2001 to the public. It was a Dr. Seuss book, McElliot's Pool, which actually was checked out of Asha's school, elementary school.
Oh my God, that breaks my heart.
And a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt.
Yes, New Kids on the Block.
It was white with red sleeves. Now, these items did not belong to Asha.
What? So, wait. Return. So the book that was actually checked out from the library again, from her school was in there. And they checked the registration and who checked out the book.
Yeah, like if you look it up online and you show the book, you know how they used to stamp them?
Yeah.
And it says Foston Elementary.
But then a shirt to New Kids on the Block, and she never went to the concert.
It wasn't hers.
Girl, shut your dirty mouth. What the fuck? That's crazy. Inside of this book bag.
That was hers.
That was hers. Because it had her name and her address on it.
And her phone number.
And her phone number. Okay.
And that was wrapped in 2 plastic bags and buried. Over 26 miles away from where she lived.
That's some shit, bro.
And those were the last pieces of evidence that have been released to the public since then. So we're in 2022, and this was in 2018. Now, we're going to get to some theories.
Okay.
So the first theory, Harold, the dad, was a suspect because remember, he left to do some last-minute shopping for Aquila's and his anniversary and came back and was the last one to see the kids before they went to bed.
Yeah, pero wasn't Aquila, like, she was the one to wake him up.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. He was in la sala and she was in the room. So they just thought that, you know, it was kind of suspicious that...
He didn't see her walk out and all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but, I mean, like I said earlier, Aquila and Harold were, you know, cleared as suspects. They even passed polygraph tests, you know? So that's not like...
That theory
that was one theory, but a second theory is a hit and run. Okay. So it's theorized that because it was dark and rainy, maybe someone might have hit her and just, you know, they're like, oh, fuck, and just like disposed of her body somewhere.
I don't like that theory because there's too much back work on that. Like there's too much back, like if they did that, then what about the candy wrappers and what about this? And it's just too much. That it doesn't sound like
a plausible
one. Yeah.
So the third one is just, I mean, it fits, but she just ran away. Okay.
I have a question though. Did they ever question the brother to be like, they were close? Like, did you ever hear your sister talk about this? Was she having a problem with somebody or whatever? Like no,
nothing.
Nada.
See, that's the thing, you know, and I can see why some people think, obviously, because in a way she did run away or she left her home voluntarily.
Yeah, because she took her house keys.
And she packed.
Yeah,
and she packed. But based on her home life and the days leading up to her disappearance, nothing seemed wrong. So I'm just going to go over the couple of days before she went missing. So that Friday, Asha and O'Brien spent the day with their aunt since there was no school that day. So since they lived on the same street, you know, se quedaron con ella. And later that day, they went to their basketball practices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Normal.
I'm there.
That was Friday. On Saturday, she played in a basketball game. And when she actually fouled out and the team ended up losing, so she was upset and she cried, according to her parents. Her team had been undefeated up to that point. So she was really upset that, you know,
she missed a shot.
Yeah. No, she fouled out. Like they took her out of the game.
Oh, she fouled out.
Yeah. So she was upset. And she started crying.
Pobrecita.
But Aquila and Harold said que she managed se le pasó, like pasaron a couple of hours and she seemed fine. She seemed like she was over it. That night, she spends the night with her cousins, and they have a sleepover.
So they're having a good time.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, like I mentioned earlier, is when, they go to church. She gets picked up by her parents from her cousin's house.
Yep.
And they go to church, as I mentioned earlier, and then they head home and everything seems okay. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, and then the light goes missing, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day she's gone. So if she decided to run away, why? And with who?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't understand.
Because that's the thing. Like, her mom said that she was so cautious and she was scared of dogs. So if you leave in the middle of the night walking...
She wouldn't do that. I honestly, I don't think that she would just get up and go like that, because she was so cautious of everything. She would be like, okay, I'm going to go out there. It's raining. It's cold. I don't have a jacket.
I'm scared of dogs.
And it's dark.
But so why would she? Like, that's the thing. Like, they didn't have a computer. They weren't exposed to the internet like so many kids are nowadays that have phones, and, they get like preyed upon by people online or anything like that. But
that's what I'm saying.
She didn't have that.
She was like, honestly, she was, I was just looking her up to see her picture because I didn't know what she looked like. She was like somebody she was following directions at home. She was very shy, you said. So, I mean, I just don't get it. That makes no sense.
And it kind of makes it seem like she thought she was going to come back home, right? Because she just packed a little bit. She took her house keys. And to me, it makes it seem like she thought she was going to come back home. Like, she's just going to go, like, for a little bit, leave, and then come back.
Maybe, like, and my first thing was, like, maybe she was trying to walk to her grandma's house, but then she got distracted or something.
But they live on the same street.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. And so that's the only theory that they have, is that she ran away and that's all they have?
Well, obviously, that's not one of the theories people think, not just the police, So one last theory is that maybe she came across somebody that, like a serial killer or murderer or something, that killed her.
Okay, so let's say that she left her house, right? So she leaves and she's
walking on the side of the highway.
She got upset for some odd reason. Okay, she leaves.
That's the thing. A lot of people did think that maybe because she was upset because they lost the basketball game on Saturday. With girls, honestly, it's honestly, because I have a daughter, and like one day she's fucking cool, and the next day she's fucking Wednesday Addams. Like, but regardless, I
just feel like even at that,
I would never leave the house.
Hell no, that girl's scary of everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, she wouldn't either. I don't think she willingly. I think that she probably was like, I'm gonna go do something and I'll be back, and she never made it back. You know what I mean? Like you said.
But why would she pack what she packed? She packed clothes.
I think that she probably was like, I'm gonna go stay with my I honestly think she's like, I'm going to go stay with my grandma. Left the house thinking she was going to go to her grandma's house, thinking I'm going to put this clothes on when I get there or something. And then between that, tracked or something like that, she got taken. I think she got taken.
But why would she be seen on the side of the road if they lived on the same street?
That's what I'm saying. And nobody was with her.
Exactly. And it was raining.
But what if it wasn't her on the side of the road? Yeah, but let's say that it wasn't her on the side of the road. And then they did do something to her. Let's say that whoever took her, they did something to her immediately and she passes away, right? That's... God forbid. But, they take her, whatever. They put her in the... She ran to somebody was following her. She runs for a reason. She thinks it's a guy in the car. Mm-hmm. So then she runs for a reason. So they follow her in there to hide. Let's say that she hides in there. She's there a few days, whatever. And then somebody, like, I don't know. People are sick out here. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Nobody knows. So the last theory that I found that...
You know what? This is the last time we do Unsolved Mysteries, because now I'm like,
oh, I need to find out.
Yeah. Like, I need to find out what happened to her.
So
she was, guys, I'm looking at her on Google. Like, I literally Googled her. She is so adorable.
Yeah.
With her ponytails. Like, I can't even deal. Like,
she looks like a sweet little girl. Yeah, I mean, she's 9.
She's 9. She's a baby. Like, I don't know.
So, like I said, some people think that she was either murdered by a serial killer or just murdered. And there's 2 possible pieces of shit that I found and I can see why people would think this.
Okay.
So the first piece of shit is Scott Williams, who killed 3 women over 10 years. I'm sorry. In 1997, in 2004, and 2006, in which he was actually sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences, and was also convicted of kidnapping and rape of 2 other women in 1995.
Okay.
And in 2000.
Okay.
The reason it was believed he could have been involved was that the murders at least took place in Monroe, North Carolina, which was only a couple of counties over Cleveland County, which is where Asia disappeared from.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was determined that Asia did not fit his victim profile because these were women and she was a little girl. So they were like, okay, no. It maybe, but no.
Oh, I don't know.
Now, the second piece of fucking shit is Donald Preston Ferguson. He was arrested in 1990. He was arrested in 1989 for sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl and placed bail while awaiting trial. He then hauled ass from Spartanburg, South Carolina to Greensboro, North Carolina. There, he raped and brutally murdered a 7-year-old girl, Sholanda Poole. She went missing from her bedroom that she shared with her twin sister in the morning hours of July 21st, 1990. Mm-hmm. She was actually found the next day in a wooded area behind an elementary school. He was actually apprehended, I believe, in late 2013 or 2014 after advances in DNA helped solve the cold case. So,
wow.
He was convicted of first-degree murder and first-degree sexual assault and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But because of the similarities, the little girl, she went missing from a room that she shared with her twin sister in the early mornings of that day, which is Asia. She shared a room with her brother and went missing early in la madrugada of February 2014.
The guilt that her brother feels, like not knowing what happened to her.
Because he heard her move.
Because he heard her move and get up to the restroom. Like, you imagine? Like, I would not be able to live with myself. I would not. I'm sorry. I would be like, I can't believe that, and now what he's like, I don't know, in his 30s? Maybe even older? That's crazy.
So Asia is now known as Shelby's sweetheart, and her family holds an annual walk on the day of her disappearance on February 14th. It starts from her family's home, and they walk from their family home to the last place she was seen on the side of Highway 18. The billboard is there, and it's been updated with an age progressive picture of what she would look like now.
I know, I just 30s. Saw it. She looks gorgeous.
Her parents say that they still have hope that she's alive, and her mom says that until they find her remains and prove to her that, with DNA, like, we found her, that she's gonna keep hope alive.
I would too. Like, you know what? I would definitely. But at this age, she's old enough to know that she's lost, or she's old enough to know that something happened to her. So maybe, if she's out there, I don't know.
It's happened.
It's happened.
See, and the police.
So if they have her captured or whatever, because they haven't found they haven't found her body.
Exactly. And the police are still working on the case, and it's not a cold case, like, at all.
It's an open case.
It's an open case. And if you have any information in regards to Asha Degree's disappearance, please contact the FBI Charlotte at 704-672-6100.
Yes, please do.
There is a combined reward of $45,000. So I don't know if there's still some information, like, initially they withheld things that they found in her book bag and stuff for like a really long time.
Yeah.
So maybe there's still information that they have, but they just haven't released it to the public for whatever reason.
True.
I don't get it.
I don't know why they don't do that. Maybe because they want to... I think that maybe they want to make sure that whoever does come forward, because I was reading right now while you were talking about, there was an inmate that said that he had killed her.
I forgot to say that.
Sorry, I was just reading over it right now. So there was an inmate that said then he was actually convicted of
in 2004, right?
In 2004. He was convicted of, I guess it was a murder or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a murder.
The inmate said that he
knew where she was at and that he had murdered her. Yeah. And buried her.
But the fucker just said it so he could get out of fucking jail. Yeah, prison, fucker. I don't know why people do that.
Like, it was nothing. It was a dead end. It says in 2020, his name was Marcus Mellon, or his name is, who was convicted of sex crimes against children. He wrote a letter. And he was saying that he knew where to find her body. But they followed it.
Yeah, they have to.
They followed it.
Because it's not a cold case, like I said.
No. I just can't believe it. I don't know. I just feel like maybe there's the police knows more than we do. And maybe that's why they're like, we're going to continue the search, because if it was something like, finally we have we can't figure it out. Like, let's just let it go.
No,
but no,
you can't.
You can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And her parents are still being interviewed. And now, like I said, they still hold that annual walk from their home to where she was last seen. So I don't get it.
I don't get it.
She, being as cautious as she was and being scared of dogs as she was and quiet and shy, but a happy, bright kid.
Ella sabía lo que andaba, like, era muy inteligente. Like, there was no way that she would have just done something
get up
like
and
that.
leave.
Yeah.
And people think, maybe it's somebody that she knew. Like, yeah, they didn't have internet, pero somebody that was around the family.
Or maybe, that's what I was thinking. Or maybe le dijo, ¿sabes qué? We'll meet up here. Come, bring your stuff with you. We're going to meet up and we'll leave and then come back.
For Valentine's Day, and then you'll come back.
Because ella sabía que le iban a levantar temprano so that she can shower. So they were like, she knew that they were going to wake her up early, but she got up earlier than that to leave, I guess. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying.
Y se llevó sus llaves. And I'm thinking that se llevó sus llaves because she thought she was going to come back and she needed to be able to get back into her house.
And they still haven't found the keys. They haven't found any of the other belongings, the Tweety Bird,
so
everything.
I think obviously the bag that they found in the Turner shed that first day, so maybe those were planted there. Because esa foto, nobody knew who that little girl was.
Y luego,
pero el bow and everything else.
I wonder if they tried to find out who actually took out the book.
Maybe
from the library. Who?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say that they did. Say if you knew who this book belonged to, who checked this book out. I mean, because I think the libraries don't keep those kind of records anymore. It's from 2000. In elementary school. So I'm sure all that gets trashed.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. And this estuvo media
puzzling.
Sí, ya me estoy bien confundida. I just don't understand.
And I try to think like your daughter, but she's obviously older. She's 11 and Asia was 9, but
my 9-year-old wouldn't go anywhere because she's scared, but I don't know, because nowadays there's so much stuff going on in the internet. They read so much, they know so much now. I'm not surprised if she would one day just get up and go.
But if she was, think of her, but in 2000, without no phone, without no internet.
That's what I'm saying. There has to have been a way
somebody that she
knew. That's my theory, honestly, is that somebody that she knew, that was like, le estaba metiendo cosas,
en la cabeza. Be like, well, I'll bring you back. Just meet me here. Yeah. Because a lot of people do think that she was walking to the city because they live just a little bit right outside Shelby. And the way that she was walking, it seemed like she was going to walk into the city. So maybe ahí se iba a juntar con alguien.
Pero lo que yo digo es que porque if she wouldn't have not been scared, she wouldn't have run from that guy that was coming behind her.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't have been like,
oh shit,
let me run. If she would have known that somebody was, like, if she didn't give a shit, she was like, I'm leaving, she wouldn't have cared. She would have let them stop him and give her a ride. Pero she didn't. So she knew what she was doing. She was running from danger. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who she thought was danger.
Or she thought was danger. But...
yeah, because if it was somebody that she knew, she would have let them pick her up.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Esto no. No.
Yeah.
Well, let us know what y'all think about this case in the comments. What are your theories? What do you think happened? What are your theories? Do you think that it did have something to do with her dad, or do you know maybe it was somebody that she knew? Do y'all remember how you were at 9 years old, like in your mentality or your mental process back then?
Would you leave your home raining in the winter?
Yeah, and not only that, like, we really do want to hear what you guys think
about this one for sure. I mean, all of them, but this one,
all of them for sure. Yeah. But if you can, just leave us a comment or just tell us what you think, and
follow us on Instagram at Cafecito and Crime Pod,
or send us an email. You can send us an email letting us know what you think.
Yeah,
at Cafecito and Crime Pod at gmail.com, and just let us know what you think. This one's still is mind-boggling. Yeah, this is too much. I don't know. Now I have to go and take a nap.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening, and we'll hear you in the next one.
Adios.